Good morning, everybody. It's Janine. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. I've been so busy fighting all of this AI data stuff that I have to actually make this video in my car. And well, that's okay now, isn't it? That's why it's taken me a bit of time to get my self back in the saddle of this new channel and get my next video made, because, well, myself along with all of you, we are just fighting the battle of our lives. I wanted to talk about this today because in all my life, I mean, I'm a studier of history, and this is more damaging to America than Pearl Harbor, more damaging than 9/11, because both of those attacks we could recover from. But this attack on America by Americans, meaning our president turned out, and I voted for him twice, he turned out to be a wolf in sheep's clothing. He has allowed billionaire oligarchs in this nation to basically infiltrate the government, although they say that they're not part of the government, but they are running what is going on in this nation. I think everybody who's up on the game and well aware knows that. They are running what's going on in this nation. That's why our government is skirting laws. They do not abide by laws and regulations. President Trump if there is an obstacle in the way of government, and that's going all the way down to the seats of local government, our commissioners, everybody. If there's a regulation or a law preventing them from getting a hyperscale data center in your area, they're going to skirt it, ignore it, or change it. That has happened here in Franklin County, Missouri. They want to put 2 hyperscale data centers in the vicinity that I live in. I live in beautiful rural Missouri. As I'm driving down Highway N right now, all I see is beautiful, lush, green, rural land. It's gorgeous. And that's why my husband moved me out here. Well, he didn't move me out here like I was a trunk or something, but, you know, he convinced me to move out to the country. And my heart is actually breaks every single day at what's going on here. But in Franklin County, we have a bridge that's going to be taken down and put back up. And our county commissioners, 3 of them, Ken Cox, Dave Schatz, and Paul Overschmidt, they have approved an environmental impact study for a bridge that's going down and coming back up. But for a hyperscale data center, an industrial building that has toxic emissions, it has tonal noise equivalent to what the military has used for torture techniques. And that affects humans and animals in very serious and drastic ways as it pertains to health and mental health, both animals and humans. It draws up to 5 million gallons of water a day from our aquifers. 5 million. We figured this out. We're putting up an above ground pool in our backyard because we have a septic, and it goes over those lines. And it's going to be 33 foot round, and it's 54 inches deep. It would take every single day, they're using the equivalent of 200 of my swimming pools to cool these hyperscale data centers per data center. People, we're not going to have any more water left in America. I know water, people think it's a renewable source, but there is a limit to that. And I'm going to give you an example. In Nebraska right now, farmers don't know what they're going to do. They're trying to decide, okay, are we going to divert our plan and go in a different direction? Are we going to declare bankruptcy? What are we going to do? Because they can't plant their crops due to the fact that this last winter they didn't have enough snowfall to sufficiently moisten the earth so that they could now plant their crops. It's actually becoming a dust bowl in Nebraska right now. And one of the reasons my husband and I, we were supposed to go skiing this last year in Colorado. We canceled our trip because there was no snow. I doubt that Arapahoe Basin, which is where we were going to go this time, I doubt that they even opened all their runs this year. And so, why? Why, you ask? Well, apparently global warming is not a thing anymore because our government doesn't care that each one of these hyperscale data centers in America, each one of them creates a heat island from the generators that are on top of the building. This heat island can raise the atmospheric temperature up to 16 degrees, and that radiates out 6 miles. Now, in all these towns where they have these clusters, well, actually, practically every state, except for when you go, when you go to the west, to the northwest. Practically all these states have an abundance of these hyperscale data centers that they've been sneaking in under the nose of Americans. And if each one of those creates this kind of a heat island, imagine, will we ever have snow again? Give it 3 years, I promise you. I mean, please understand, I have no expertise in that. I'm just a simple gal with some common sense. That's all. So anyway, these Nebraskan farmers, and this is all by demise. This is the demise of America, and it's by design. These Nebraskan farmers, it's like a dust bowl. They can't plant their crops because they're not allowed to water their crops, because all that water is allocated for the hyperscale data centers. Do you see? Is anybody watching my channel? Do you see how America is under attack? Do you see our government no longer cares about the health of Americans? They don't care about the particulate matter that is being emitted from these hyperscale data centers, from the water. After it cools the machinery, it is then kind of like expelled out into the air because it's evaporated off, basically. And there's forever chemicals in there. There's toxins in that. In which year did global warming stop? Did the care for our environment end? That used to be, conserve water, conserve electricity, do all this. Now they have implemented these monsters that eat up everything they were telling us to conserve. And it's heating up everything that we were concerned about. It's truly demonic. This is demonic, and this is all by design. This is because they're not dumb. These are not stupid people. They want everybody to be very poor and be very subservient and be holding and under the control of the government. And so I'm just saying, if you are an American and you're watching this and you're just scrolling through, do something. you know, if you're scrolling through, you probably have a computer. You at least have a smartphone. That means you can go on the internet and you can find out who your representatives are. Get out there and talk to them. Get out there and tell them you don't want this. Get out there and tell them you see the laws that are being broken. Why is it that if you or I break a law, then we go to jail? But this government breaks laws and nothing is happening to them. Why is that? I almost feel like if I broke a law, I'm just going to let them take me to court and I'm going to say, you know what? I thought that regulation was lifted. We've lifted so many regulations. I thought that law was lifted, that we weren't going to do that anymore because we've lifted so many laws. It almost makes it, that sounds ridiculous, I know. But I'm 61 years old. I've got very little to lose, in my opinion. And it almost makes it worth it if it just wakes up one judge, one somebody. Because all of these people just have the whole government. They have all the judges in their pockets. But let me tell you, all of these government officials, they're paid off because they listen. We go to these meetings week after week after week. We bring them all kinds of data. And do they think, I guess they think that their children and grandchildren aren't going to be affected by this. I think that they really do think that. They think, I guess the money that they're receiving to betray their fellow citizens, people that they grew up with in this county, people that they went to school with, they have no souls. They have no souls. They don't have a benevolent thought in their head. Not a thought of benevolence. And so, as I'm saying this, I just ask you to stand up, contact people, talk about it. I'll tell you what, 200 years ago, 250 years ago, people that came to this country and were living in this country under tyranny from England, they wouldn't have tolerated this crap. They wouldn't have tolerated this 1 second. So think about it. I believe that our society, and perhaps it's just a characteristic of mankind, but people just want an easy, cushy life free of strife. But what I have found in my 61 years is that those kind of lives do not cultivate perseverance. It doesn't cultivate strength and fortitude. It doesn't inculcate wisdom and knowledge. There's something about having it easy and cushy that really just makes it makes a person, but it makes for somebody who does not benefit the world around them in any way. They're just air suckers. And it's the tough times, it's the times where we have to stand up and we have to fight and we have to rearrange our work schedules so that we can go to Board of Commissioner meetings every week. And we live with some of these headaches because we're so angry at what's happening in our government. And we're so angry at the people that won't stand up while other people are just spending their whole life trying to stand up against tyranny. But it's that kind of stuff that makes you stronger. Yes, you will have weak times. You'll have times of wanting to give up and scream and kick and fight. But think about the Argentinians. Think about what they just did. I'll tell you what, we need some people from Argentina here to tell us how it's done. To tell us what freedom means to them. because Americans have forgotten what true freedom is, what sovereignty is, and because we've forgotten it, because we want a comfortable, easy life, I guarantee you, we are going to lose it. Anyway, I truly love you guys. I'm really grateful for you. And if you found anything that I had to say of value, could you please like my channel and subscribe to it? I know I'm new, and I forgot to tell you, so you might see me in this vehicle a lot more. This is Holly. Meet Holly. Holly, this is all the people out in YouTube land. Holly is my little zip car. She's my little Honda Accord that I bought when I moved out to the country. And I'm so irritated because I noticed that this liner is coming off, and it just drives me nuts. So until we get that replaced, well, we'll replace it ourselves. We won't have somebody do that. This is an old car. I think it's a 2011. But this girl gets me where I need to go all the time. And I just zip around. And I don't worry about gas prices that are $30 a gallon. At least that's what it feels like, right? Because I've got Holly. Holly's my good girl. And my husband takes really good care of her so that her little engine keeps running because, of course, our government is also trying to bankrupt us, and they're letting the car industry put out cars now that we can't work on ourselves. No longer are dads going to be in the driveway with their sons showing them how to tinker on a car, or with their daughters who want to learn to be a little mechanic. No more of that, because we can't work on our cars anymore. They've made it so we can't. Again, it's all about servitude. It's all about being beholden to somebody else. It's all about being enslaved to somebody else. Wake up, Americans, especially you that are not 61 years old. You got some time left. You can still save the country. Love ya. Bye-bye.